Yo, still bills, what's the deal, man? Yo, I'm back. Gotta make a quick run. My wife wanted this little water bottle for Valentine's Day. So I gotta drive all the way out to Village Point to grab that shit. But anything for the wifey, anything the moon and the stars if I get it for her, man. But peep game, I want to talk about something. And that is, goddamn, y'all gonna have to start putting some respect on Zuffa Boxing's name, man. Bro, I didn't know that they put the fight on that they did. I didn't know that they had all these fighters, man. So I didn't know they had Hot Rob Adavaje versus, Vosdik. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. When I found out they fought, I'm like, what the fuck you mean Hot Rod and Vosdik fought? Are you serious? I didn't know Butayev moved up to 154 pounds and fought Boachuk. I didn't know that. I didn't know that. And this is what's so dope about it, man, is they're taking fighters who aren't necessarily notable names and they putting them together in the ring. When you think about it, it's kind of a watered down version of what, Turkey is doing. The difference is, Turkey has the war chest to put the big name fighters in the sport in the ring together. You know what I'm saying? Vosdik hasn't been the same. He hasn't been the factor that he was back. When Better Beef knocked him out, was that 2018? I think that was it, like 2018. He did like this, or was it 19? It was 18 or 19. No, I think it was. Oh fuck! Because I remember that fight. I was watching that fight. I had to leave because I had to take my daughter. I had to stay the night in the hospital with my daughter. She was really, congested really bad. I can't think if it was 19 or 20 when they fought. But just he hasn't been the same, destructive. The nail, he hasn't been that guy ever since then, man. And for him to go in there and fight Hot Rod off a 17-month layoff, like this is dope right here, man. Because it's like we ain't trying to go out here and get all the big wig fighters or whatever. We're not trying to do that. We ain't, no, man. Because when you do that, the more big notable fighters that you get, the more politics come with it. The more politics come with it, the more red tape come with it. I got to worry about, honoring mandatories now, and I don't want to fight. He ain't got no big enough name. He ain't fought nobody. It's just so much. It's the diva shit that comes with it. So, man, you know what? Just give me the fighters who want to fight, and they're not necessarily. Their name doesn't match the stature of a Usyk, of a Tyson Fury, of a Teofimo Lopez, a Shakur Stevenson, a Keyshawn Davis, a Devin Haney, a Monster Inoue, a Bam Rodriguez. Let me get some fighters who want to fight, and they have a high enough profile it can get people to tune in. But it's not so high profile. Damn, that's a balling ass whip. It's not so much high profile that I gotta deal with the politics and the diva shit that comes with it. Let me focus on those fighters to get to get the ball rolling. And I think that's the logical thing to do. I think even tonight, man, we got Charles Martin versus F.A. Ajagba, which is a dope fight. If we being real, it's a dope fight. It's a dope fight. And why is it a dope fight? They're two notable names. It's Charles Martin, the name that he was back when, back when y'all was saying, y'all swore that he was a bum when AJ went in there and crashed him in 2 rounds. No, he's not. He's older. He's older, man, but he's still active, and he's still a notable enough name to where you can get a dude like F.A. Ajagba out of bed. And F.A. Ajagba had the fight of his career a few months ago when he went in there and he beat fucking Martin Bakoli. I don't see a goddamn thing wrong with what this dude is doing, man. This is healthy for the sport. So, and I haven't really had an opinion on Zuffa because I fell out of favor with reading, you know what I'm saying? I remember, when I first stepped into consciousness, man, I would wake up every Saturday morning around about this time, and I'd devote an hour to reading. I did that for about 2 years, man. I really want to get back into that, man, because it disciplines you with situations like this, to where you ain't got to just rely on bullshit, interviews and shit like that, where people are moving the goalposts and setting a narrative, or where and framing shit how they see it and why they have an issue with it, as opposed to speaking to the speaking the truth, speaking truth to power. This is when reading articles when it's coming from an unbiased source, this is when that comes into play. But I just haven't had the patience to go sit down and read it. But I'm just seeing their deeds and what it is that they're doing, and what they're doing is healthy. You can't be mad at what you can't be mad at what Dana White is doing. I just don't understand why somebody who wants nothing to put on good fights and restore the sport back into his his glory years. Why is that such a why is that such an offense? Why is that such an egregious offense? Why is that a foul? I never understood it, man. I never understood it. I don't understand it. I don't understand it, man. Just this, and this, a lot of this is coming from, bro. Al Heyman is getting sued. Al Heyman PBC is getting sued by Floyd Mayweather. And y'all swore that was the golden goose for boxing right there. Y'all swore that they was gonna take niggas into the promised land, and look where they at now. Look where they at. So I'm saying, man, like, why is some, I don't get how it's the same treatment that Eddie Hearn got when he first came up here. Why is there so much resistance, man? I think what Zuffa is doing is dope. What Dana White is doing is dope. It's not so much worrying about the belts and all that shit. Even they got 8 weight classes, bro. That shit is dope. 8 weight classes out of 17, like, cool. We gonna take this back a little bit. We're gonna take this back a little bit. We ain't gonna worry about the juniors and the supers. Nah, we ain't doing all that. We not doing all that. Just give us 8 solid weight classes. I think that, they talking about one. I don't know, man. I don't know it in detail, but I just like what I see, man. And what's dope is, Jail Battaglia left Matchroom and went over there with them. And who did they sign? Just signed Noel McCallion. And they locking horns. They locking horns next month. They've been dying to get Jail Battaglia a unification match. Nobody has seemed to be interested. Zerto is not shown any interest in fighting Jail Battaglia. He's dismissing him. He ain't fought nobody important. All this extra shit. When we know you are the important dude that everybody wants to see him in there with. I'm sorry, but Maris Breedis is a better win than anybody that you fought at 100. As a cruiserweight, Brody. But he ain't fought nobody important like that. Okay, let's stop. This is what people do when they try to find a way to navigate around fighting a motherfucker that everybody wants to see him fight. All right, cool. I'm gonna just sit here. I'm gonna just discredit everything that you've done thus far. You're not slick. You're not slick, and you're using David Benavidez to get out of fighting Jai. You're not slick. But now look what they're doing. You dig? Noel McCallion versus Jail Battaglia, bro. They're already making moves that motherfuckers wasn't able to make on behalf of Jail Battaglia. Man, that's promising right there, man. That's a beacon of hope. That's a beacon of hope. So I just don't understand why. I don't get why this is such a bad thing. And if we being real, man, what's happening with the smaller entities are starting to make they're making a way for themselves to where the bigger entities, they're not like, look at what ProBox is doing on YouTube. That is, Tevin Farmer got those fights that he got. He got those 4 big fights that he got because of the work he was putting in on ProBox. Lamont Roach putting in the work on ProBox. Lester Martinez putting in the work on ProBox, man. This is healthy for the sport. You know what I'm saying? This is healthy. So it's weird to me how motherfuckers y'all are so reluctant to accept it. Y'all just want to reject the shit. When you see some shit is working like this, why not get behind that and push that? A rising tide lifts all boats, right? All right, cool. So why can't they get the same love and maybe not the publicity because they don't have the bank account of these entities, but why can't they get the same love and the support and the same push and the same respect as the bigger entities? Why is niggas so standoffish with this? I can't understand it. When they're just trying to, it's simply better the sport. They're trying to simply better the sport. All right, cool. We ain't gotta. You want to fight? I bet. You ain't gotta wait around. You fight in January. You ain't gotta wait till September to get another fight in, man. Get your ass over here and let's brawl out. Why is that such a bad thing? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it. They're keeping fighters busy. They're keeping fighters busy. This is the bag you're gonna get. And it's on some take it or leave it shit, man. Cause you know what where else you gonna fight at? They're keeping fighters busy, bro. ESPN is down. Where you gonna fight at, FA? And you're not the commodity that you think you are, man. You're not. You've been in with some reputable opposition. You've been in with Vianelli. You've been in with, Frank Sanchez. You know, now you've been in with Bacoli. Now you finna go on with Martin, man. You've been in with some reputable names. So why just sit on the bench and collect dust until you get another significant payday? When we're offering you something right here that's gonna keep you active, and you have a potential. You know, you staying active and you continuing to show promise. This could potentially put you back in position and in favor with who it is you want to be in position and in favor with, so you can get that bag that you think you're deserving of. Let's just keep you sharp. Let's keep the machine oil. Pause, just in case you motherfuckers want to get on some dumb shit. But I'm telling you, man, America just has this, the tendency to just, y'all don't want to stop the bleeding. Y'all don't want to stop the hemorrhaging, man. Y'all would rather bleed out than cure yourselves, man. I can't understand that shit. Everybody coming over here, it should not be it shouldn't be met with this level of controversy and vitriol when motherfuckers is just really trying to do better for the sport. Y'all are so worried about motherfuckers taking this shit, outsiders coming in and foreigners coming in and taking this shit over, that y'all, hey, at this point, that is the reset that we need. Niggas need that shit up here, bro, because what else is we doing besides marinating fights and overpricing ourselves and all that shit, man? Look at these cats nowadays, man. I'm not a fan of what Shakur's doing right now. I'm not, but I understand it. Him going out and looking for the big fight, bag chasing. I'm not a fan of that, because I'm like, you still got so much work to do. I would still like to see Shakur go undisputed. I would still like to see Shakur go undisputed, drop back down 135 pounds. That division is lush. Because you already said you ain't staying up there at 140. So, yeah, all right, fuck it. Drop back down and do the damn thing there. But instead of doing that, you want a bag chase. The bag is coming before the legacy. But he's done enough in his career to where you can say, all right, cool, throw him a bone, let him go and, you know what I'm saying, try and run that shit with them niggas over there. Even though I don't like it. Man. But that's just the energy of the American market, bro. It's just, yo, man, let me go on. I want to fight Lamont Roach. I want to fight Ryan Garcia. I want to fight Conor Ben. I want to fight Pitbull. I'm just like, bro, you got Ray Mahmoud-Athaya calling you out right now, man. That is a much better win than all of them niggas. All of them. That is a much better scalp to collect. On some, I forget what they call a predator in the movies, man, but that's a much better scalp. So why not take that? That's the diva shit that comes with a lot of these high-profile fighters. That's the shit that comes with that, man. I just think that shit is whack. Especially when you have an entity like Zuffa that's just simply trying to get these fights over the line. For free at that, or for a subscription to Paramount. Why is that a bad thing? Eddie Hearn, I just want to get fights over the line. I'm never gonna be a fan of them putting it, just this spiking the price for the subscription to the zone. I'm never gonna be a fan of that, because you get all these pay-per-views. I don't know about all them pay-per-views, my nigga. I don't. That's not a fair deal. That's not a fair bargain, or whatever the case may be, man. But early on, his thing was, let's just put on the good fights. Why can't we get Charlo versus Andre? He did his part, and he was met with a certain level of cynicism, because niggas just couldn't stand the fact that it was a foreigner coming over here into the American market. Telling you, man, y'all got to get y'all head out y'all ass, man. Y'all have to. Ain't a damn thing wrong with what Turkey is doing. Ain't a damn thing wrong with what Dana White is doing. Wasn't a damn thing wrong with what Eddie Hearn was doing when he first came over here, man. need the fights. We need the fights. It's as simple as that. So shout out to Zuffa. I love it. You know, I like what I see. I like what I see. I like what I see. I don't see how you can sit there. I don't see how you cannot like what you see as a fan of the sport. You just want to see the sport flourish. Why wouldn't you like that? You wouldn't want. You only reason why you wouldn't like it is because you feel challenged by the fact that it's outsiders coming into the sport, and that's ruffling your feathers. Last time I checked, that was, competition is a good thing. I mean, y'all want the competition. Y'all want the best fighters to fight each other. All right, cool. Well, why not allow the best entities to push each other? Why is that such a bad thing? Let these entities battle it out. Let them challenge it. Let them do that. Without y'all feeling, clutching at y'all pearls and all that, man. It ain't that deep, my nigga. Let them come over here and do what it is that they do. Do your thing. Because the overall objective is getting these fighters to fight. That is the bottom line. Want them niggas to get in the ring and run it. That's the bottom line. If that's not what you want, then why are you even over here? Why are you watching boxing? Why? The Americans can't get the Americans to get some act right, so you need foreigners, man. You need people to come over here from the UFC. You need people to come over here from Saudi Arabia. You need motherfuckers to come over here from the UK. We wouldn't have to worry about this if America wasn't the divas that we are, man. The diva shit. We is not on top of the world like we once were, man. Y'all do not get to continue to use the contributions of past greats from the 70s, the 80s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the early O's. We don't get to do that. Because to no avail, them niggas are retired. Them niggas are retired. And I've seen just the drop in production as far as talent and as far as, what's the word I'm looking for? Ambition. I've seen it plummet with these niggas today because they just, it's easier to go off of what the greats of yesterday did, man. So get it together, man. Get it together. That's all I gotta say, man. I will tap back in with y'all later. Y'all stay righteous until then, yo. Deuces.